Earthquakes, volcanoes, and tsunamis. All are very dangerous and can cause much destruction. This disaster management plan will give you instructions on how to save your life from these events.
As tectonic plates move, they build up pressure. When that pressure snaps, the plates move and it triggers what we call an earthquake. Before we talk to you about earthquakes, you should know that P waves are primary waves. They are the fastest moving waves from an earthquake, and they can move through both solids and liquids. S waves are shear waves. They move slower and only through solids, but they are more damaging than P waves.
There really is no way to predict an earthquake. All we can do is monitor for the first P waves, which are less damaging. As soon as we see those, we will alert you of the oncoming earthquake.
These are some ways that we can protect ourselves from earthquakes. We should build our homes with floors and ceilings should have a beam frame architecture. Brick walls and concrete pillars, boards should be connected to reinforced steel rods. Buildings should be built in a steel structure. Traditional stone or plaster wood can be used to reinforce concrete in the house, and houses should be built in gaps from each other so they don't act as like a domino effect and just knock each other over.
During an earthquake, get in a safe area, in a corner of a room, perhaps under a table, to avoid falling objects, broken windows, or any other thing that could fall and harm you.
To locate the epicenter of the earthquake, we will find the distance away an earthquake has occurred from the seismograph using the difference of arrival times between the P and S waves. Then we make a circle to determine the area where this might have happened. Then we do this from 3 seismographs, in the area where they overlap is where the epicenter is. This is how we will determine where the most damages have occurred and where we will focus our relief efforts on.
The following is a good video that explains why volcanoes erupt.
15 miles or more beneath the Earth's surface, this tremendous heat melts solid rock into a white-hot mixture of gas and a liquid called magma. The gas-filled magma is lighter than the unmelted rock, so it rises toward the surface, melting gaps in the rock as it rises. It enters a magma chamber, a region of magma that hardened after a past eruption. The magma continues to push and melt its way upward. It pushes through channels of weak, fractured rock consisting of hardened magma. Eventually, the magma and gas push up to the top of the volcano and blast out through an opening called the central vent.
If our local volcano, Mount Tulane, begins showing signs of eruption, such as a temperature of the rocks increase, a slight bulge occurs near the top, or small earthquakes and tremors occur around the sides, along with gas and steam coming from the top, you are notified that you should move to the far side of the city and preparing for ashfall from the volcano, which could be harmful to breathe in. After a volcanic eruption, the biggest thing you have to fear is ashfall, for this can make it hard to breathe. To protect from this, you should use a damp cloth or a mask to filter the air, making it easier to breathe. A volcanic eruption affects the 4 Earth systems in many different ways. For example, the magma from a volcano creates new lithospheric crust. The ash from a volcano also creates acid rain in the atmosphere. This falls and pollutes the hydrosphere, and also melts away limestone in the lithosphere. The ash also makes it hard for living creatures from the biosphere to breathe. A tsunami is caused by a disturbance of the ocean water, such as an earthquake, a volcanic eruption, a landslide, or a meteorite impact. When a tsunami wave is most likely caused by one of these events, we will notify all areas that could be hit by the event, including the city of Padang. Tsunamis can pick up large objects such as boulders and boats and hurl them into buildings, and this, along with the force of the water, can kill or injure people. Tsunamis can come hundreds of miles inland, leaving the city flooded, and they can wrap around islands, just as dangerous on the other side. If a tsunami warning is issued, or you feel a strong earthquake, move to higher ground or further inland. A tsunami can only move around 100 meters inland. After a tsunami, stay away from flooded areas. In the debris and water, it could be dangerous. Test the drinking water because it may have been contaminated by the floodwaters. Before a disaster, you should make a disaster kit. This should include items like food, water, a battery-operated radio, a flashlight, first aid kit, and any other item your family might need to survive. This disaster kit should be stored in a spot where you can grab it quickly by running out the door of your home. You should also know the signs of an emergency, the warnings and signals that you are in danger, so you know when to take action. During a disaster, you need to move to an area that is safe to wait out the disaster. For an earthquake, that'd be in an area where no falling objects could hit or harm you. For a volcanic eruption, that'd be to the far side of a city, where the lava flow or a landslide could not hurt you. And for a tsunami, that'd be away from shore, where the floodwaters cannot hit you. After a disaster, you should be careful before you enter your home. You should check for gas leaks, water line ruptures. You should also take care of any food that might have been contaminated by floodwaters from a tsunami. You should also make sure your home is structurally safe. If you have any doubt that your home is safe, do not enter and contact a professional before going back into your home. After the disaster, we will use the supplies we have stored in locations around the city, medical supplies along with food and water, and we will hand that out throughout the city. We'll also search for trapped bodies that could be caught in rubble and debris, and we will give medical attention to them. As soon as there is a safe spot for a helicopter to land, severely injured victims will be transported to a safe hospital in a nearby region. Technology has greatly helped us to protect people from natural disasters. We can now continuously monitor systems to see for changes that could signal a disaster. And also communication improvements have allowed us to communicate warnings of disasters faster.